Caesar de Bella Gallico, Book 4, Chapter 33. In the last chapter, the Legion, the seventh, is being stripped away of men by attack of savage British. Not only knights have surrounded them, but infantry, but these chariots. So Caesar takes this time to tell his readers these are not the racing chariots we see at the Circus Maximus, but instead it's something much older, much darker, much more dangerous. This is the kind of fighting out of chariots. At the first, they periquitant, they ride through all parts, and they hurl their weapons or spears. And so they disturb the ranks, and generally by the fear itself of the horses and by the rattling of the wheels. So our poor guys are disturbed by the horse sight and the rattling of wheels. And cum, when they have intertwined themselves. Now, this is an interesting verb form, insinuaveran, and they have intertwined themselves among the termos, the troops of the cavalry. So when they've gone back into the cavalry troops, they jump down out of the chariots and they proliliant, they fight on feet. So it's like, okay, we're going to pull the chariot back, we're going to hang out with the cavalry, and then we'll fight on feet. Meanwhile, the charioteers, the guys, the drivers, retire a little from the battle, and they place themselves, they locate themselves so that complement clause. What kind of complement clause? Purpose, probably. So that they would have, let's take with the if clause, if those guys are, notice those guys always refer not to Caesar's guys, but the enemy, are pressed by the multitude of the enemies, that would be us, they would have an expeditium, an expeditious retreat, receptum to their guys. So they get a pickup. Thusly, they praestant, they excel, they perform, they excel the mobility of horses, the stability of cavalry in battle. So they excel in those things. And they accomplish so much quotidiano usu, ablative means phrase, by daily practice and by exercise, that they so that result clause, they are accustomed in a sloping and in a steep location to support their horses having been spurred on, to sustain their horses, whether it's a sloping or in a steep place, and to moderare, to govern, and to turn them briefly, to turn them with briefless, and to run up through the pole, and to stand on the yoke, and to recover themselves from there most swiftly into the chariot. So the warriors on the chariots are so used by their daily practice, they can fight on plain, straight ground. They can fight on sloping ground. That's a hard thing. That's why the Roman legions never used cavalry, because of the mountains, or never used chariots. And they can fight even on steep locations. So they're like 4x4s. Well, 4 horses by 4 horses, I don't know. And they can sustain their horses having been spurred on, and to govern them and to turn them in a short order and to run right upon the pole. So they can run up on the pole between the horses and stand there on the way right between the horses, throwing their spear, doing whatever. It's like going out on the front of the Cadillac while you're going downtown, spearing away at people. I have Cadillac because I had a 1978 Cadillac Eldorado, huge trunk, a huge hood. So you jump out from the sunroof, go run back over to the hood ornament, start spearing at people, then run back inside. I never did that, but boy, these British charioteers could. So Caesar's telling his folks back at home, not only are his forces surrounded by cavalry, but they're also surrounded by these charioteers with this incredible power. How shall Caesar recover? How shall his forces be safe? We'll have to find that out next time when you tune in. Until that time, true believers, Excelsior.